Hey everybody, and welcome to Robin's house. Today we're working on stencils, and we've just got a slew of card front stencils. The one I'm working with happens to have this pretty hash mark. I don't know if it's still available or not, but there are plenty of others. And I just wanted to kind of go over with you again how these stencils work and how you can apply them to your card because they're super fun. I love them, and they're so fast. So the first thing you do is you take your card space that you're going to be coloring and you get your stencil. And if you're going to be, well, especially on this technique, make sure that you don't close yourself off. Like if you only wanted to do this certain amount of space, don't cut yourself off because then you'll end up with a line and you would much rather end up with a fade. So give yourself more room than you need, but make sure you've got enough stencil there to work with. So I'm just going to start at one end with my chipped sapphire and color some corner here. And I've got my Mermaid Lagoon. You're going to want to overlap these a little bit so that your chipped sapphire doesn't stop with Mermaid Lagoon. And we can always go back again. So now I've got my salvage patina. And I'm gonna go over the section that I already did with Mermaid Lagoon so that we can blend that in there. But then I want a little bit peeking out of here, especially on these sides, so it's not like it came out of nowhere, especially because the message here, covers up a little bit. So then you take your other color and you just make sure that you've got some blending going on in there. And again, up at the top. So you see I'm holding my stencil in place because I definitely don't want that moving around. And you'll just have to kind of figure where is best for you. You could, your fingers are only so big. I like to keep my paper in place and my stencil in place. And then this kind of helps shield me from going too far outside my bounds. So you ready to see what it looks like? There we go. So that looks real nice. It's a faded, it kind of fades into the thing. So we'll just go one more time so we can get well, you don't need to see it twice. We can talk about other things. Anyway, so then that way, when you go to put on your card base, you can see the colors. You can see the salvage patina coming here and that, and then you put this on. And then we've also got some salvage patina down here, added a little bit. And that way you have your little message has some color behind it to really help it stand out just a smidgelet. So that is a super fun, very fast card. But there's other options too, other ways to use these stencils. So I just used them in a partial chunk. But what if you wanted to use them all the way up or down? So this is this exact same idea. You put the stencil over the top, you start with one color, move up to another color, but this is a different design and a different color palette. So super fun. And then this way is kind of like the one we just did, only this is one color. So you do light areas, dark areas, areas that fade, and it looks really cool. And then there's other stencils that create a space. So it would be exactly like using this stencil, only you'd have an additional stencil under here so that your stencil doesn't go into this space. And then you have a place to put your message. So that's super easy. Or if you don't want to do that, you can build your stencil, add something that pops to the top, and it's the same idea, only different. So there's a lot of options you can do with your stencils, and they're so fun. And so I hope you'll give them a try. And thank you so much for watching. Happy crafting.